Ladies and gentlemen, life has a way of whispering truths that we often ignore. These truths tell us one thing over and over again. The present moment is all we truly have. Not tomorrow, not the past, right now. Yet how often do we hesitate? How often do we get stuck in endless cycles of maybe tomorrow, when the timing is right, or once I'm ready? I'm here to tell you that readiness you're waiting for is a mirage. The perfect moment doesn't exist. The only perfect moment is the one you decide to make perfect. Think about this. The future you're dreaming of is built by the actions you take now. The good news, you're not late, you're not behind, you're exactly where you need to be, but you need to act. Not recklessly, not fearfully, but deliberately, with the understanding that every moment matters. The question isn't, what will happen if I fail? The real question is, what will happen if I do nothing? Because the greatest loss isn't failing, it's never starting. For too long, many of us have been conditioned to believe that we need someone else's approval to pursue the things we truly want in life. We wait for validation from society, from our peers, from institutions, or even from family. We wait for someone to tell us, yes, you're ready, or yes, you're good enough. But the truth is, waiting for permission is a trap. Think about it. How many dreams, ideas, or goals have you put on hold because you felt you needed someone else to sign off on them? How many times have you delayed taking action because you were afraid of stepping outside the boundaries of what's considered normal or safe? That hesitation, that self-imposed waiting game, isn't coming from the outside world. It's coming from within. This idea that someone else holds the keys to your destiny is a lie we tell ourselves to avoid responsibility. If you're waiting for permission, it's not because you're incapable, it's because you're afraid. Afraid of failure, afraid of judgment, afraid that stepping into your power might mean leaving behind the comfort of being invisible. But let's be clear, no one is coming to give you permission. The world isn't going to pause and hand you a certificate that says you're ready to live your life now. You have to decide. You have to choose to step forward despite the fear, despite the doubt, despite the voices in your head telling you to wait. Waiting for permission often feels safe, but in reality, it's the most dangerous thing you can do. Every moment you spend waiting is a moment you could be creating. Every opportunity you pass up is a chance you may never get again. The longer you wait, the more your dreams begin to fade, not because they're impossible, but because you've convinced yourself you're not worthy of pursuing them. Think about the people you admire most, the ones who inspire you, who've achieved great things. Do you think they waited for permission? Do you think they sat around hoping someone would tell them it's okay to go for it now? Of course not. They acted, they made mistakes, they faced rejection, but they didn't let the need for approval stop them from trying. The irony is, it questions your ability, undermines your confidence, and builds walls between you and your goals. But here's the truth. Doubt is only as powerful as the inaction that feeds it. When you're stuck in your head, overanalyzing, second-guessing, and replaying all the what-ifs, doubt thrives. It grows in the absence of movement, filling the void with fear and uncertainty. But the moment you take action, any action, you disrupt that cycle. Think about it. Every step you take, no matter how small, shifts your perspective. When you act, even imperfectly, you gain momentum, and with momentum comes clarity. You begin to see that the obstacles you feared are often smaller than you imagined. The scenarios you worried about don't materialize the way your mind built them up. Action doesn't just move you forward physically, it shifts your mindset, allowing you to see possibilities instead of roadblocks. It's important to understand that doubt doesn't vanish all at once. You can't think your way out of it. The solution isn't more planning, more research, or more time waiting to feel ready. The solution is movement. When you act, you break the paralysis that doubt relies on to keep you stuck. Take the example of learning a new skill. Before you begin, your mind is full of questions. What if I'm bad at this? What if I fail? What if people judge me? These doubts can keep you stuck at the starting line indefinitely. But the moment you take that first step, pick up the pen, take that class, make that phone call, you begin to prove to yourself that action is possible. And as you keep moving, the doubt begins to fade. It doesn't disappear because you've solved it. It fades because it has no room to exist when you're busy doing. The beauty of action is that it creates feedback. When you act, you gain information. Maybe the step you took wasn't perfect, but now you know what works and what doesn't. You can adjust, pivot, and try again. Doubt, on the other hand, thrives on the absence of information. Consider this. The moments in your life when you felt most confident didn't come from endless preparation or overthinking. They came from doing. Confidence is built through action, not thought. Every time you take a step forward, no matter how uncertain you feel, you're proving to yourself that you're capable. And with each step, the grip of doubt loosens a little more. So when you're faced with uncertainty, don't let doubt paralyze you. Remember that you don't need to have it all figured out to begin. You don't need to see the entire path to take the first step. Action dissolves doubt because it replaces fear with progress, uncertainty with clarity, and hesitation with momentum. And the moment you begin to move, you'll realize that doubt was never as powerful as it seemed. It was just waiting for you to take the reins. We've all heard it before. I'll start when the time is right. Maybe you've even said it yourself. It's a comforting phrase, isn't it? It gives you an excuse to wait, to delay, to convince yourself that someday the stars will align and everything will fall into place. But here's the truth. Perfect timing is a myth. The idea of waiting for the right time is one of the most deceptive traps we fall into. It keeps us stuck in a loop of preparation, hesitation, and inaction. Life doesn't hand you a moment wrapped in a bow and labeled, "This is it." There's no magical signal, no perfect set of circumstances. What you're waiting for simply doesn't exist. Why? Because life is inherently unpredictable. There will always be challenges, uncertainties, and imperfections in your environment. If you're waiting for the perfect moment, when everything is clear, safe, and easy, you'll be waiting forever. The truth is, the perfect time isn't a point in the future, it's a decision you make. Let's break it down. Think about the major milestones in your life. Were they born from perfect conditions? Did everything go according to plan? Chances are the moments that shaped you were messy, unplanned, and full of uncertainty. That's because growth doesn't happen in a vacuum of perfection. It happens in the real, raw chaos of life. When you wait for perfect timing, what you're really doing is avoiding risk. You're waiting for a guarantee that things will work out. Think about this. How many opportunities have you missed because you were waiting for the right moment? How many dreams have you let slip by because you were waiting to feel 100% ready? The reality is, readiness is a feeling that often follows action, not the other way around. The moment you start, you begin to build confidence. You start to figure things out. And in doing so, you create your own momentum. Perfect timing is also a myth because life moves too fast. Time doesn't stop. This doesn't mean you should be reckless or rush into things without thought. It means you need to accept that conditions will never be flawless. There will always be obstacles, unknowns, and doubts. But those things don't have to stop you. They're part of the journey, not reasons to avoid it. What truly separates those who succeed from those who don't is the ability to act in imperfect conditions, to look at the uncertainty and say, I'm going to start anyway. Those who wait for perfection are often left behind, while those who embrace imperfection move forward. Here's the beauty of this realization. When you stop chasing perfect timing, you free yourself. You stop waiting and start creating. You take control of your own destiny instead of leaving it to chance. Because the truth is, the perfect time isn't something you wait for, it's something you make. And it's made in the messy, uncertain, imperfect moments that you choose to embrace